Picture this, a fancy dinner party. You're seated between a venture capitalist and a brain surgeon. The wine is flowing, the conversation is sparkling, and then it happens. The dreaded question, so, what do? You hesitate. I'm in education. Suddenly, the air thins. The venture capitalist chokes on his brie. The brain surgeon discreetly checks his watch. You see, admitting you're an educator at a party is like saying you brought potato salad to a caviar tasting. It just kills the mood. Why? Because everyone has an opinion on education, usually shaped by their own often traumatic experiences. But here's the thing, education is important. It's the bedrock of society, the engine of progress. And right now, that engine is sputtering. It's time for a tune-up, folks. Buckle up. Let's talk about the future. It's coming, ready or not. The kids entering school today will be retiring around 2065. That's right, 2065. Now, I'm no Nostradamus, but I can confidently predict that the world will be a tad different then. Flying cars, maybe? Robot butlers? Hopefully. A curriculum still obsessed with long division and the War of 1812? God, I hope not. The point is, we're preparing students for a future we can barely imagine. And yet, our education system is stuck in a time warp, clinging to outdated methods and standardized tests that measure, at best, the ability to memorize and regurgitate. Creativity, innovation, critical thinking, those are just electives, folks. We've all seen the educational assembly line in action. Students are sorted into neat little boxes labeled gifted, average, or, let's be honest, needs improvement. We cram them full of information, like geese being force-fed for foie gras. And then, we wonder why so many graduates emerge from the system feeling like, well, processed food. Creativity isn't a luxury, folks. It's not something reserved for the artistically inclined. It's the lifeblood of progress, the engine of human ingenuity. We need to stop treating it like an optional extra and start nurturing it from the get-go. Sir Ken Robinson, the Jedi Master of Creative Education, once told a story about a school nativity play. A young lad, bless his heart, was cast as one of the 3 wise men. The teacher asked him what he was bringing to the baby Jesus. "Frankincense and myrrh," he chirped. The teacher beamed. "Excellent." But then, the little guy paused. "What are frankincense and myrrh?" he asked. The teacher froze. "Well," she stammered, "they're sort of like presents." The boy's face lit up. "Oh!" he exclaimed. "So, like frankfurters and myrrh?" Now we can laugh, but this story reveals a fundamental truth. Kids are natural-born creatives. They see the world with fresh eyes, unburdened by the weight of convention and the fear of getting things wrong. Our job is not to crush that spirit, but to cultivate it. Think back to your high school English class. Remember slogging through Shakespeare, trying to decipher the bard's cryptic verses? Now imagine being Shakespeare's dad. Imagine having to nag him to clean his room, do his homework, and for God's sake, stop writing those ridiculous plays. The point is, every genius, every innovator, every game changer was once just a kid with a curious mind and a penchant for daydreaming. They didn't get that way by acing standardized tests or memorizing multiplication tables. They got there by exploring, experimenting, and yes, sometimes even failing spectacularly. It's time we celebrated the unsung heroes of the education system. The teachers who encourage curiosity, the parents who value imagination, and the students who dare to color outside the lines. Let's be honest, some subjects are considered more important than others. We often hear about the importance of math and science, the building blocks of our modern world. Math and science reign supreme, while the arts are relegated to the sidelines. It's as if creativity and expression are mere hobbies, not essential skills. It's like the school cafeteria, where the mystery meatloaf gets top billing and the salad bar is an afterthought. The same goes for our education system. But here's the thing, life isn't a multiple-choice test. It's not about choosing A, B, or C. It's about navigating through a maze of challenges and opportunities. It's messy, unpredictable, and requires a diverse set of skills to navigate. You need to be adaptable, resourceful, and open-minded. You need creativity to solve problems, to think outside the box, and come up with innovative solutions, empathy to connect with others, to understand different perspectives and build meaningful relationships, and yes, maybe even a little bit of art appreciation to make your apartment look less like a student hovel. A touch of creativity can transform any space. I once watched my wife make breakfast. It was like watching a master at work. She effortlessly whipped up pancakes, fried eggs, and brewed coffee, all with a grace and efficiency that left me in awe. All while simultaneously packing lunches and negotiating with a toddler. It was a symphony of multitasking. Me? I can barely fry an egg without setting off the smoke alarm. My attempts at cooking are often disastrous. The point is, life requires a blend of skills, a fusion of disciplines. No single subject holds all the answers. We need to break down the artificial barriers between subjects and create a more holistic approach to learning, and encourage students to embrace the interconnectedness of knowledge. Only then can we truly prepare them for the complexities of life. Remember that piece of paper you worked so hard for? The one that certifies your ability to conjugate verbs in a dead language or explain the Pythagorean theorem? Yeah, that degree. It's not as valuable as it used to be. The job market is a ferocious beast, and it's hungry for graduates who can think critically, solve problems creatively, and adapt to a rapidly changing world. In short, it wants graduates who haven't had their creativity crushed by years of standardized testing and rote memorization. We need to rethink our obsession with degrees as the be-all and end-all of education. Let's explore alternative pathways, apprenticeships, and lifelong learning opportunities that foster a love of learning for its own sake, not just for the promise of a job. Ever heard of Gillian Lynne? If not, you're in for an inspiring story. She's a choreographer extraordinaire, the creative force behind the legendary musicals Cats and Phantom of the Opera, which have captivated audiences worldwide. But her journey to success wasn't paved with gold stars and straight A's. In fact, it was quite the opposite. As a child, Gillian struggled in school. She found it hard to focus and often felt out of place. She fidgeted. She daydreamed. She couldn't sit still to save her life. Her mind was always elsewhere, filled with dreams and movements. Her teachers thought she had a learning disorder. They were concerned about her inability to conform to the standard classroom environment. Her mother, bless her heart, took her to a specialist. She wanted to understand what was wrong with her daughter. The specialist observed Gillian for a while, then did something remarkable. He didn't prescribe medication or suggest more tests. Instead, he turned on the radio and left the room. He wanted to see how Gillian would react when left to her own devices. Gillian naturally started to dance. Her movements were fluid and full of life, as if she was born to express herself through dance. The specialist turned to her mother and said, "Mrs. Lynne, your daughter isn't sick. She's a dancer. She needs a place where she can thrive. Take her to dance school. Let her explore her passion and see where it takes her. The rest, as they say, is history." Gillian Lynne went on to become one of the most influential choreographers of our time. Gillian Lynne's story is a powerful reminder that one person's problem child is another person's creative genius. It's a testament to the importance of recognizing and nurturing individual talents. It's time we stopped trying to fit square pegs into round holes and started celebrating the unique talents and perspectives of every student. By doing so, we can unlock the potential of future trailblazers like Gillian Lynne. In a world obsessed with productivity and achievement, let's take a moment to celebrate the noble art of daydreaming. Often dismissed as a waste of time, daydreaming is actually a powerful tool for the mind. Yes, daydreaming. That seemingly unproductive activity that gets you in trouble with teachers and bosses alike. But what if we told you that daydreaming is where some of the greatest ideas are born? Daydreaming is where creativity takes flight. It's a mental playground where the mind can wander freely, making unexpected connections and exploring new possibilities. It's where we make connections, generate ideas, and envision new possibilities. In these moments of reverie, we can solve problems and innovate in ways that structured thinking often can't. It's where Einstein dreamed up relativity, a theory that changed our understanding of the universe. Where Marie Curie envisioned a world transformed by radium, leading to groundbreaking advancements in science and medicine. and where you, yes you, might just stumble upon the next big idea. Daydreaming allows us to think outside the box and come up with solutions that are truly innovative. So the next time you catch a student staring out the window, lost in thought, don't scold them. Encourage them. They might be on the verge of a breakthrough. Because who knows, they might just be changing the world, one daydream at a time. Let's nurture this natural inclination to dream and imagine. Let's create an education system that doesn't just tolerate creativity, but celebrates it. A system that values the power of imagination and the potential it holds. An education system that prepares students not just for the jobs of tomorrow, but for the challenges and opportunities of a future we can only imagine. By fostering creativity and encouraging daydreaming, we can unlock a world of endless possibilities.